Here with Nebraska-Kearney head coach Kevin Lofton and student athletes Connor Baronic and Ethan Brozek. Coach, if you could start us with an opening statement.
One, obviously, congratulations to Northwest Missouri State. They came out and played like a team that had been in the Sweet 16 the last 2 years in a row, which they had, and a team that's won the conference tournament for 3 years in a row. So you got to take your hats off to them. I thought our guys came out and battled. We did not score the ball anywhere near the way we're capable of it, and obviously that was a spot that really hurt us, and we turned it over a little bit too much. But they had a lot to do with both those things.
Thanks. Open it up to questions.
What were they doing those making us a big
I mean, our strength is going inside out. The first time we played them, we had a lot of success doing that. They just loaded the paint on us, to be honest with you. When we got it inside, I think our post players were being aggressive. And I think they were sending different people, diving at the ball, diving at our bigs, or when they were trying to make their post moves around the basket, and just made it hard for us. They got a lot of steals, came from strips when we were trying to make our move and attack the basket. Early on we had some success, we just weren't finished. We were getting to the rim, we were getting the looks that we wanted, and we just didn't finish. And then as the game wore on, they really started to double down and really shrink the paint, and it made it hard for us.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about how big a foul it was with Connor got his fourth there in the 11th, and how much that changed up the whole game?
Yeah, it's tough. I think the biggest thing you got to understand when you're at this level, the higher level you go, the more physical it's going to get. And I think it was a physical game when our bigs had the ball around the basket. And I think at times it was hard for them to get a feel on what they needed to do. But, anytime you got to take, someone that could score as well as Connor out of the game, it's going to have an effect. And there has been times throughout the course of the season where when something like that happens, we're able to get scoring from somewhere else. But they're a good enough defensive team that we just, we struggle to find a rhythm or to really get anything going without him on the floor, but at times even with him on the floor. They just, they did a good job.
Yeah, Connor, talk a little bit about how they played defensively. They got your 31, but just talk a little bit about that.
Obviously, they're a really good defensive team, and they just packed the paint like Coach Lofton said, and I mean, they made it really hard for us. I mean, yeah, I got 31, but none of it was easy. I mean, I got to tip my hats off to those guys. They guarded me really tough and made it hard on me, and it was a tough matchup for me.
Ethan, you guys have seen Justin Pitts a couple times now. There's always the chance you'll see him again, potentially in the postseason. Just from what you've seen in 2 games, what have you learned, and what maybe can be done to stop him?
Well, we've learned that he's pretty good. If we knew how to stop him, I guess we probably would have done that earlier. But I think it's just a team effort. You can't rely on the guy guarding the ball. Lane obviously did a really good job, but that's tough. With the post coming to help, and he's obviously a really good passer too. So it's kind of a team-wide effort to stop that pick and roll. What you got to do is just stop him, stop the ball as soon as you can, then just rotate from there. We did at times tonight, but obviously he had a really good game. But he's a really good player. That
was a great answer, Ethan. And the truth is, that's one of the best point guards in the country. And I talked to the Hayes coach before the game. They didn't have any answers either. But I think no one in the league really had answers for the kid. And there's a reason that team has done what they have done this year, and then it starts with number 1.
Ethan, what was the key to getting it going late?
I think it was obviously they missed a couple shots. They were making a lot of tough shots in the first half, and offensively, there was no secret. Getting Connor the ball and watching him play, and he's obviously one of the best offensive players in the league. So we kind of just rode him today. Hopefully in the future we can get some other guys so that, like he said, when Connor has foul trouble, we're able to sustain our performance. But they missed some shots, and we played some better defense for a stretch. But they're a good team, and you can't keep them down for too long. And they made some tough shots, and they deserved it. Played well.
Any other questions?
Where do you go inside? I mean, you're still going to go to regionals, so to kind of put this behind you, is there a particular you talked about the first Northwest Missouri game being a kind of a springboard to finishing the rest of the season strong. There's some similarity here that, that you come off of this and go strong to.
Right. I mean, the biggest thing, and I'm fortunate, is one, I got these two guys on my basketball team. They provide a lot of leadership. Obviously they're very talented players, and that's the biggest thing we're going to rely on. Obviously, we'll give them tomorrow off, let them recharge a little bit. But when we get back to practice, it starts with these two because they have the most, to lose. The next loss will be their last, and I've been pretty emotional the last 3 days because that's all. When you have that thought, the fact that they won't be here the next time we lose, as a coach, it's very sobering. But I think our team realizes that too, and I think our team realizes that, as a player and as a coach, anytime you take over a program, you want to make sure when you leave it, it's a little better than when you got it. And you look at these two guys, can't say enough about them. When they came here, we were coming off a 7-19 season. Now you look at us, we just won 20 games. We made it to the championship round and arguably the toughest Division II conference in the country. And we're going to get to go to an NCAA tournament, which we hadn't done in 10 years. So I have a lot of, I said it before, I got a lot of respect and a loyalty for these two. I think their teammates will band together knowing that, hey, this is their last run, this is their last tournament, and we got to make it a good one, and hopefully we can get 2 or 3 focused practices, and then you just got to go out there and have a short memory. This one's over. Learn from it. I think we can learn that, and we got to have, when things get tough and they pack the paint like that, we got to trust each other and move the ball a little bit better, and just have guys step up and make plays. We can't put it all on one guy's shoulder. That's not going to work when you get to that level against a good defensive team. And I think that's the biggest thing we can take from this, and know that hopefully if we play well enough, that who knows, maybe we might see them again down there. And then, like you said, it's they're good now. And we didn't just play against anybody tonight. We played against one of the best in the country, one of the best in the region. So, just got to learn from it and find a way to get better because of it.
Thanks, Coach.
For both players, obviously, in this tournament, it's great preparation for the postseason, and teams that haven't won this tournament have gone on to win national championships. What do you take from this tournament, learning from the toughness as you go into wherever the region will be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Coach said, just one of the best conferences in the country. So you take the level of physicality, that we saw all 3 games, the level of players, and you just kind of carry that over. We expect it to be, a lot of the same, but a little bit higher. Obviously, every team has a lot to lose at the regional. So we take what we learned here. We learned a lot of lessons today. Did some things right, did something wrong. A lot of stuff that we need to work on. But yeah, it's just learning from it, not getting too low, and just building for next game.
Obviously, we came out and just, like you said, we're in one of the better conferences in the country. And the regular season, I mean, it's a grind. Every night you got to come out and compete against a really, really good team. It doesn't matter if it's in the bottom half of the league or the top half of the league. I mean, they're going to give you the best effort they got. And we never had really any easy games all regular season, so it's definitely a bonus being in this league and understanding that everybody's pretty dang good, and that really helps us going on into the postseason, and we're going to take that with us.